Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to completely dismantle this idea that honestly plagues almost every single industry out there, the fallacy of the perfect plan. You know the feeling, right? We often think, hey, if we just plan this job with enough detail, literally nothing can go wrong. But actually, scratch that. We're going to see how this total obsession with overplanning, which is usually just driven by a fear of liability, actually creates incredibly dangerous workplaces. It's a fascinating paradox, and it affects everything from the stuff we buy to heavy industrial maintenance.
To kick things off, check out this hilariously extreme attempt by a company to, completely dodge liability. According to a report by the Florida Times Union, American Airlines actually felt the need to slap these painfully obvious instructions on a tiny packet of their in-flight snacks. Quote, instructions, open packet, eat nuts. I mean, come on, you have to laugh. But it really makes you wonder, what kind of legal environment creates a situation where we have to tell a grown adult exactly how to eat a peanut? And this brilliantly illustrates that exact same absurdity in our everyday lives. Just look at this standard run-of-the-mill household trash can. Engraved right there in huge letters are 3 distinct steps: grasp handle, tilt, push, or pull. I mean, ask yourself, does a reasoning, functioning person really need a step-by-step guide to move a plastic bin on wheels? Of course not. But the manufacturer slapped it on there anyway. And not to help you, but purely to protect themselves. Section 1, the over-instruction epidemic and CYA culture. So let's see how these absurd warnings snowball into a much larger, systemic issue, completely driven by the fear of liability. Companies are, frankly, terrified of a court system that can often seem totally nonsensical. They're paralyzed by this fear, and their knee-jerk reaction is to just bombard us with comprehensive but completely useless safety procedures. Just look at some of these other real-world examples. Do not eat toner on a laser printer cartridge. Or get this, caution, risk of fire, printed on a literal fireplace log. It's wild. Companies fire off these ridiculous warnings just to cover all their bases. But here's the absolutely crucial takeaway for us. Blindly following a procedure, or just blindly writing one to check some legal box, is never going to be enough to actually keep people safe. It just creates this total illusion of safety. Section 2. The perfect plan fallacy and the cost of perfection. This brings us to a really critical industrial concept called planner liability. In maintenance and industrial environments, there is this massive pressure on planners to write flawless procedures. Why? So that if a technician gets hurt, the company can just throw their hands up and say, well, the plan was perfect, they just didn't follow it. But the real cost of chasing that perfection, it's dangerously high. Notice the incredibly dangerous trade-off happening here. If a planner spends all their time trying to create a perfect plan for just one single job, the effort completely consumes them. What happens? Dozens, maybe even 99 other jobs go straight into execution with zero planning at all. None. You're basically sacrificing the safety of the entire plant just to make one single job legally bulletproof on paper. But on the flip side, continuous improvement means running all 100 jobs through a cycle where good plans just consistently get better and better over time. Section 3, the safety paradox, or how planning actually makes us less safe. So this whole obsession with covering liabilities, it leads us straight into a massive paradox, where trying to be perfectly safe on paper actually makes the entire plant less safe in reality. Let's look at how the actual numbers behind this planning process play out. A truly robust maintenance planning system doesn't just rely on one lone genius sitting in a room somewhere. We're often talking about 20 to 30 planners working simultaneously. The whole goal is for these planners to pool their massive combined knowledge, their skills, and decades of experience into better plans all the time. I mean, a single planner, no matter how brilliant, is never going to be as knowledgeable as a group of 2 or 3 dozen seasoned experts. So, I want you to really ask yourself, with all of those resources at our fingertips, with 30 seasoned experts collaborating, could we just commission a massive project to finally develop flawless, perfect procedures all at once? If we threw enough money and enough brainpower at it, could we actually achieve that perfect plan? Well, the text is completely definitive on this, and the source material is crystal clear. The answer is a hard no. We simply cannot plan the perfect plan. Period. And honestly, it's even worse than that. If we commissioned a massive project to try, it might actually give us this dangerous, false sense of security. It makes us feel like, hey, we've arrived at perfection, which in reality completely stops us from doing the hard work of growing and improving those procedures over time. And here is exactly how that dangerous paradox plays out on the shop floor. If we hold planners personally responsible for every single injury, they overplan. They write these excruciatingly exact steps, exactly like those trash can instructions, just to avoid getting blamed. But because they're doing that, they literally run out of time to plan the rest of the jobs. So what happens? Craftspersons are forced to execute hazardous, completely unplanned work. Ultimately, the overall plant safety just plummets. Sure, the planners avoid blame because the job that caused the injury was unplanned, but the systemic result, it's an absolute disaster. Section 4, trusting the craftsperson and valuing skill over scripts. This whole paradox really forces us to completely reevaluate what information is actually useful out there on the floor. We have to pivot away from writing these rigid legal scripts and start actively trusting the craftsperson's training. We train our technicians in safety practices, right? So how could an injury ever be viewed as just a simple procedural issue? Much like those ridiculous trash can instructions we looked at earlier, a highly trained craftsperson doesn't need to be told how to hold a wrench or turn a valve. They're skilled professionals. What they actually need is unique, highly specific information about the exact asset they're servicing. They need to know the weird quirks of a machine, the hidden hazards, the stuff that isn't just common knowledge. And that is where a planner adds real tangible value, not in writing a 50-step guide on how to open a toolbox. Section 5. Systems over blame, the Deming approach. Let's dive into our final concept and look at how international mentors like Dr. W. Edwards Deming tackle this whole liability nightmare without just searching for a single person to blame. Because, let's face it, when things go wrong, human nature, and definitely corporate culture immediately looks for a scapegoat. Was it the planner's fault for a bad procedure? Was it the technician's fault for slipping up? Well, Deming asks us to look much, much higher up the chain. Deming aptly points out this completely foundational truth. The system of work produces the results. It is just entirely unacceptable to solely blame a poor job plan, or a single craftsperson for that matter, for an injury. The final result, which absolutely includes the safety of the environment, is a product of the entire system. Sure, everyone is responsible for acting within the system, but more importantly, we're responsible for improving the work and the system itself. To actually break out of this whole CYA trap, management has got to stop assigning individual blame. Instead, they need to build a true system of improvement. What does that look like? Well, it means you rely heavily on the existing skills of your craftsmen. You actively collect feedback from the doers, the people out there actually turning the wrenches. You take their crucial safety discoveries and add that useful info straight into the plant's permanent knowledge base. By sharing that knowledge, you institutionalize safety and raise the entire company up as a whole. You literally cannot divorce the person planning from the person doing. Ultimately, company problems are company systems. You can spend all your time and energy trying to create a flawless, totally liability-free warning label that tells people not to eat printer toner, or you can actually build a system of continuous improvement that truly relies on the expertise of your people. So, I'm going to leave you with this one vital question to ask about your own workplace. Is your company building a better system, or are you guys just writing a better warning label? Something to think about. I'll catch you in the next explainer.